clear directive to the family and to the board that I would succeed him as president. Jonathan's disappointment in not getting his way only deepened when I married Dr. Doug Weiss, who has been such a blessing to me.
In a shocking turn of events, Joni Lamb's family drama has spilled into the public eye, exposing allegations that have rocked their once united household. What started as a private family retreat in 2021 spiraled into a web of accusations, mistrust, and emotional fallout. At the center of the controversy are claims of misconduct, a suspected cover-up, and a bitter rift between Joni and her son Jonathan's family. As details emerge through media reports and ongoing investigations, the Lamb family's struggles reveal the painful complexities of navigating loyalty, faith, and accountability under intense public scrutiny. The Lamb family feud. A tragic family divide. In recent years, the Daystar television network, once a beacon of Christian programming, has become embroiled in an increasingly complex and tragic family rift that has shaken its foundation. Founded in 1993 by Marcus Lamb, the network gained recognition for its expansive reach, spreading Christian messages across the globe. Yet beneath the polished surface of Daystar lies a deeply troubling and highly publicized family dispute that has made headlines worldwide. At the center of this feud is Marcus Lamb's family, and the tensions have erupted in a series of explosive allegations and deeply personal accusations that threaten to unravel the legacy of the network. The early allegations, a troubling start. One of the earliest incidents that drew attention to the Lamb family's private struggles occurred in 2020, when a troubling allegation emerged involving Joni Lamb's granddaughter. The child, after returning from preschool, reported to her mother, Susie, that a boy in the cafeteria had touched her inappropriately. The immediate response was one of concern, and Susie swiftly reached out to Joni to share the troubling claim. The news sent shockwaves through the family, as it marked the beginning of a series of emotional and complex events that would soon dominate the family's private life. Both Joni and Susie acted quickly. The two women visited the preschool together, and Joni offered her full support to her daughter-in-law, emphasizing the importance of handling the situation with care. The school, recognizing the seriousness of the claim, conducted an internal investigation, interviewing staff members and children, and reviewing evidence. However, as the investigation progressed, it became clear that the physical evidence did not substantiate the claim. Staff found no unusual behavior, and no witnesses could corroborate the child's account. The situation became even more complicated when the child's reported physical discomfort, which was initially attributed to the alleged incident, was later diagnosed as eczema. This revelation shifted the perspective on the incident, offering a potential physical explanation, but raising further questions about the emotional and psychological components of the child's interpretation. While the family sought to resolve the matter with sensitivity, the incident had already planted the seeds of tension and suspicion, which would later grow into far more serious accusations. Immediate response. Action taken by family. In response to the troubling claim, Susie felt compelled to take swift action to protect her child. Her decision to involve Joni, who was known for her strong presence within the family and at Daystar, seemed logical at the time. Joni, in turn, supported her daughter-in-law's actions, and they together ensured the school took the necessary steps. While the preschool's conclusion that the incident did not involve inappropriate contact brought some relief, the emotional toll on the family was far from over. This early incident marked the first of many emotionally charged moments for the Lamb family. While resolved on the surface, it became clear that tensions regarding the handling of the matter would linger, and the situation would become an early chapter in a broader saga of accusations, emotional distress, and family division. New allegations. The 2021 family retreat. Just a year later, in 2021, new allegations of abuse surfaced within the family. During a retreat held at a Daystar-owned beach house, a different young family member accused a relative of inappropriate behavior. Jonathan Lamb, Marcus's son and longtime vice president of Daystar, and his wife Susie, quickly escalated the issue, accusing Joni and Marcus of downplaying the severity of the situation and preventing them from involving law enforcement. This claim ignited a fresh wave of conflict, casting a long shadow over the Lamb family dynamics. Joni, ever the matriarch, adamantly denied any cover-up, explaining that her actions were motivated solely by a desire to protect her family and resolve the matter privately. She asserted that her intention was never to shield any perpetrators, but to keep the matter within the family in the hopes of resolving it without public involvement. However, Jonathan and Susie's version of events painted a different picture. They alleged that Joni and Marcus discouraged them from contacting law enforcement and urged them to keep the issue quiet. The disagreement surrounding how to handle the abuse claims became a defining moment in the Lamb family saga. Joni's approach to the matter, centered around resolving the situation privately, clashed with Jonathan's belief that the allegations should be treated with full transparency and legal involvement. This division between the Lambs laid the groundwork for the public dispute that would later explode into the media spotlight. Media coverage and public perception. As the allegations gained traction, media outlets, including the Roy's Report, began to cover the story in greater detail. In 2022, a counselor's report prompted the reopening of the investigation into the alleged incident, which had initially been closed after the child, who had been the victim, showed reluctance to discuss the matter. The public exposure of these events and the subsequent media reports transformed what was initially a private family matter into a full-scale controversy. The involvement of Daystar Television Network added yet another layer of complexity. The network issued public statements defending the family and calling for retractions of any defamatory reports. These public responses, including Joni's tearful video statements where she defended her actions and emphasized her love for her family, only seemed to escalate the division between the Lamb family and their critics. While some saw Joni's public appeals as sincere, others questioned whether her actions were part of a larger campaign to control the narrative and protect Daystar's reputation. The media's involvement, along with the rapid spread of social media posts, led to a growing public scrutiny of the Lamb family. Videos surfaced of Jonathan seemingly engaged in normal, carefree activities, such as playing golf, months after the alleged abuse incidents. Critics seized on these images to question the authenticity of his concerns and motives, suggesting that the public dispute between the Lambs was masking deeper, unresolved issues within the family. Conflicting narratives. A battle for truth. At the heart of the media firestorm were the conflicting narratives presented by the different family members. Joni Lamb maintained that she had acted in good faith, supporting Susie's efforts to address the 2020 preschool incident and acting swiftly to investigate the claims. She also emphasized her role in ensuring that the school handled the matter appropriately and that no cover-up took place. In contrast, Jonathan and Susie accused Joni and Marcus of repeatedly downplaying the seriousness of the abuse allegations. They claimed that the Lambs discouraged them from contacting law enforcement and pressured them to resolve the matter privately. This rift between mother and son over the proper course of action highlighted a larger struggle within the family, the balance between public responsibility and private resolution. As the accusations continued to surface, it became evident that the Lambs family dynamic had fractured under the weight of the allegations and the mounting pressure from both internal and external sources. The trust that once defined their relationships had begun to erode, leaving deep emotional scars that would take years, if ever, to heal. The role of social media, a complicated narrative. Social media played a significant role in shaping public perception of the family drama. As the allegations made headlines, the Lambs' every move became scrutinized by millions. Jonathan and Susie's social media posts, which presented an image of a family struggling with pain and betrayal, contrasted sharply with the portrayal of Joni, who used her own platform to publicly defend her actions and express her desire for reconciliation. While some followers expressed sympathy for Joni, particularly as she tearfully defended her decisions and publicly professed her love for her family, others viewed her public appeals as self-serving and an attempt to manipulate the narrative in her favor. Jonathan's social media presence was similarly scrutinized, with some questioning whether his seemingly lighthearted activities, such as golf outings, reflected a lack of sincerity about the gravity of the situation. A family at a crossroads. The Lamb family's internal struggles have left them at a crossroads, torn between their desire to protect their private lives and the overwhelming pressure from public opinion. For Joni, the allegations and the fallout from her family's disputes represent not only a personal betrayal, but also a challenge to her leadership of Daystar. As the face of the network, Joni's every decision is scrutinized, and the family drama has cast a dark shadow over her legacy. Jonathan, on the other hand, has expressed a deep sense of betrayal. His calls for transparency and accountability regarding the allegations reflect a desire to ensure that justice is served, but they have also intensified the division between him and his mother. His frustration with being sidelined in the leadership of Daystar further complicates the family's dynamic, as he has long felt that he was the rightful heir to his father's ministry. Lessons and reflections: navigating complex allegations. The Lamb family's story offers important lessons about the complexities of navigating allegations of abuse and the emotional toll of family conflict. It highlights the importance of clear communication, transparency, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. At the same time, the saga underscores the dangers of unresolved issues festering in the shadows, creating divisions that can be exploited by both external forces and internal desires for power and control. The path to healing for the Lamb family is uncertain. Whether they can reconcile their differences, both within the family and with the broader community, remains to be seen. One thing is clear: the process of rebuilding trust, faith, and family unity will require time, humility, and a commitment to addressing the deeper issues that have been exposed through this tragic and public dispute. The Lamb family's ongoing struggle serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges faced by families dealing with both personal trauma and public scrutiny, and the price they must pay to preserve their legacy in the face of intense public judgment. The 2020 preschool incident: a simple case becomes a catalyst. In 2020, a preschool incident involving Joni Lamb's granddaughter set off a series of events that would reverberate throughout the Lamb family, ultimately drawing attention from the public. The incident began with an alarming claim. The young child reported that a boy at school had touched her inappropriately during lunchtime. The situation sent shockwaves through the family, prompting immediate action from her mother, Susie, who shared the troubling news with Joni, her mother-in-law. Joni, known for her strong sense of responsibility and quick decision-making, immediately stepped in to support Susie. The two women went to the preschool together to report the allegation, demanding a thorough investigation into the matter. The school administrators took the matter seriously, conducting interviews with staff, other children, and reviewing any available evidence. While the investigation continued, the family anxiously awaited clarity on the situation. As the investigation progressed, new information emerged that complicated the case. The child, who had experienced itching in the affected area, was later diagnosed with eczema, a common skin condition. This revelation changed the narrative, as it became clear that the child's physical discomfort was likely unrelated to the alleged incident. However, the emotional toll on the family remained significant, as they struggled to reconcile the discrepancy between the claim and the diagnosis. The incident, although resolved on the surface, was the first sign of much deeper issues within the Lamb family. The 2021 family retreat incident, a pivotal turning point. In 2021, the Lamb family gathered for a retreat at a beach house, hoping to reconnect and reflect away from the pressures of daily life. What was intended as a peaceful getaway, however, became the catalyst for a much larger family crisis. The retreat was supposed to bring the family closer together, but instead it led to allegations of inappropriate behavior that would strain their relationships beyond repair. The controversy centered around an alleged incident involving Pete, a family member, and Joni's granddaughter. According to Jonathan and Susie, Pete was alone with their daughter in a bedroom during a moment when they felt he should not have been there. They alleged that Pete's behavior crossed a boundary, prompting their concern. When Jonathan and Susie brought the matter to Joni, they claimed she downplayed the situation and discouraged them from involving law enforcement. Instead, Joni allegedly suggested handling the matter privately within the family. For Jonathan and Susie, this response was a betrayal, as they believed Joni was prioritizing family unity and Pete's reputation over the safety of their child. The child's response to the incident further raised red flags. After a private conversation with Joni, the young girl became withdrawn and hesitant to discuss the matter further. Jonathan and Susie, who had previously been open about the situation, now found their daughter reluctant to speak. This emotional shift was interpreted by the parents as an attempt to silence their daughter, believing that Joni had somehow influenced her. Joni's defense: a misunderstanding. Joni Lamb vehemently denied the accusations made by Jonathan and Susie. Through public statements and videos, she sought to defend her actions, claiming that she had acted with the best interests of the family at heart. Joni explained that her approach to the situation was meant to foster peace and understanding, not to downplay the seriousness of the allegations. She suggested that the incident had been misunderstood and that her desire to maintain family harmony had been misinterpreted as a cover-up. In her defense, Joni emphasized the importance of prayer and family communication as a means of resolution. She believed that confronting the matter privately and with faith would lead to a more constructive outcome. However, Jonathan and Susie were unconvinced. They felt that involving authorities and following proper legal procedures was the right course of action, and they viewed Joni's reluctance to do so as a failure to address the issue seriously. The fallout: strained relationships. The fallout from the retreat incident was immediate and profound. Jonathan and Susie, now convinced that Joni had failed to protect their daughter, instituted strict boundaries with her. They decided that Pete should never be alone with their children again, and they refused to allow him into their home. This decision marked a turning point in the family's relationships, as trust was shattered. For Joni, the allegations were a crushing blow. She had always been a dedicated grandmother and matriarch, and the accusations from her own son and daughter-in-law were devastating. Though she maintained a calm public image, privately she described the situation as painful and difficult to bear. Her love for her children and grandchildren remained unchanged, but the growing divide between them felt insurmountable. Media coverage and investigation, the story goes public. The private conflict within the Lamb family soon became a matter of public scrutiny. The investigative journalism outlet, The Roy's Report, covered the story in depth, shedding light on the allegations and Joni's handling of the situation. According to their reporting, the initial investigation into the 2021 retreat incident was closed due to the child's reluctance to speak. However, a counselor's report in 2022 prompted Texas authorities to reopen the case. As the investigation gained momentum, media coverage intensified, casting a spotlight on the Lamb family's internal strife. Daystar Television Network, a prominent Christian broadcasting platform associated with the Lamb family, released statements publicly criticizing the media's portrayal of the events. They called for retractions of the reports, describing them as inaccurate and misleading. Joni herself took to social media, posting videos in which she defended her actions, reiterated her love for her family, and expressed her sorrow at being accused of a cover-up. Divided perceptions: the public narrative. The public response to the allegations was polarized. For Jonathan and Susie, the media coverage was validating. It highlighted the seriousness of the allegations and reinforced their belief that the situation warranted further investigation. For Joni, however, the media attention was painful. She saw it as a betrayal and felt that the public scrutiny was unfairly amplifying the divisions within her family. Joni's video statements aimed to provide clarity and defend her actions. She portrayed herself as a caring grandmother caught in a difficult situation, trying to balance her faith and love for her family. But for many, her public defense seemed calculated, a means of controlling the narrative in the face of growing skepticism. The role of faith and family dynamics. Faith was a central theme in the Lamb family's response to the allegations. Joni believed that prayer, open communication, and faith in God's guidance were the keys to resolving the situation. However, this approach was met with criticism from Jonathan and Susie, who felt that more concrete steps were necessary, such as involving authorities and ensuring the safety of their children. The differing approaches to handling the situation revealed deep divisions within the family. For Joni, the goal was to protect the family and preserve unity, while Jonathan and Susie felt the need to address the allegations head-on, with full transparency and accountability. Moving forward, can the family heal? As the Lamb family faced the aftermath of the 2021 family retreat incident, the road to healing seemed uncertain. The trust that had once bound the family together had been shattered, and the emotional fallout from the allegations was profound. For Jonathan and Susie, the safety and well-being of their children remained the top priority. For Joni, the accusations represented a deep personal betrayal, and she longed for reconciliation, even as the path to rebuilding trust seemed insurmountable. The ongoing investigation added another layer of complexity. With authorities continuing to examine the allegations, the family remained in a state of limbo, unsure of what the future held. The possibility of new revelations loomed, and with it, the hope for resolution seemed ever more distant. The larger implications, a cautionary tale. The Lamb family's story is a reminder of the complexities that arise when families are confronted with sensitive and emotionally charged issues. The differing perspectives on how to handle the allegations reflect broader questions about accountability, trust, and the balance between protecting individual family members and maintaining the family unit. As the investigation continues and the family grapples with the emotional fallout, the larger implications of the situation become clear. The tension between faith-based solutions and the need for concrete action, the struggle for reconciliation, and the public nature of the dispute highlight the challenges families face when navigating difficult circumstances. The journey forward for the Lamb family will not be easy. Whether through truth, forgiveness, or a combination of both, the road to healing will require immense strength and resilience from all involved. For now, the family remains at a crossroads, unsure of how or if they can ever fully heal from the wounds caused by the 2021 retreat incident and the ensuing public controversy.